Okay, so you decided to move to the Playas de Tijuana. One of the reasons I decided to move to the Playas de Tijuana is because Southern California, Los Angeles, is simply too expensive for the quality that you receive. And a lot of people say that Southern California is just expensive. Well, you can go to any state, any city in the United States, and you can buy a home for $1 million. You can buy a home for $10 million. The difference is the quality that you're going to receive. And so I was living in Los Angeles. I had maybe a 400 square foot studio with no parking, no utilities included. It was me and 2 dogs, and I was paying well over $1,000 a month. Could I afford it? Yeah, technically I could afford it. Did I feel like I was getting what I was paying for? No, absolutely not. I did not feel like I was getting my money, the value of my money. And, you know, I work in Los Angeles. I still work in Los Angeles. I still drive to Los Angeles. Nothing changed besides the fact that I moved about 3 hours away. I still make maybe one trip a week to Los Angeles, and I'll stay overnight with a friend if I have to. Sometimes I have to stay 2 or 3 nights. I use Airbnb if I need to stay a few nights. I don't want to be a burden to my friend. But ultimately, even with the driving, the maintenance for my car, Airbnb, living in Tijuana, paying rent in Tijuana, paying for utilities in Playas Tijuana, still does not add up to what I was paying to live in the U.S. Yes, I put a little bit more time into the travel, but as far as the financial part, nothing as of today, which is August the 30th, adds up to the amount of money I was paying to live in downtown Los Angeles in a 400 square foot studio with no parking, no utilities included, with 2 dogs. I have yet to even come close to that expense. With that being said, that was a primary reason that I left. You know, I felt taken advantage of. My money didn't buy anything. I worked 7 days a week and I had nothing to show for it. All right. So you're coming down to Playas de Tijuana. You're coming down to Baja, California to live, which I suggest to anyone that can telecommute or wants to find ways to work from home, or, you know, just wants to improve their quality of life. You're probably going to come down the 5 or the 805, and you come right into Tijuana. Now, once you go through the border from Mexico, you need to get into your right lane, your far right lane, because there's only one bridge that makes it easy for you to get onto the Via Internacional. So you need to get into the far right lane. And obviously, like I said, I don't cross that often, but when I do cross, I'm gonna come up with some videos so I can show you the lane to get into, how to drive down the Via Internacional, which is really just a very large hill. Then you go over the hill, you get onto the second part of the freeway, and as you can see, there's only really one way that you're gonna take into Tijuana. So you just continue straight down. One way into Playas de Tijuana, I should say. So straight down, there you go. And for me, what I do is I come down this middle intersection, and maybe about right here, I live somewhere in this area. I can't tell on this map, but I'm close to the freeway. There is a freeway behind me, but I can still walk to the beach, and I have an ocean view. The walk is about 10 minutes. But one thing you should notice about the Playas de Tijuana is it's just a loop. It's just a big loop. So look at that. You really can't get lost in the Playas de Tijuana because it's just a loop, and then you have several parks. Like, it's not even completely, you know, streets and homes. They're like mini blocks. They're not full blocks, but let's say you wanted to walk to the beach. Where's the farthest neighborhood? This may be about a 15 to 20 minute walk if you're leisurely walking. So everything walking distance is about 15 to 20 minute walk from the beach. Now, obviously I lived in Los Angeles My Spanish is so-so, but it's really not enough to conduct business in Spanish by phone. So when I was coming down to look at homes to start, one of the places I really wanted to live in was San Antonio Del Mar, which is a little further down. Oh my God, but it's so exclusive, it's gated. They have all these wonderful neighborhoods. Like I really wanted to live in San Antonio Del Mar, and I saw two homes in San Antonio Del Mar. Okay, so the first home I saw, I contacted the real estate broker via Craigslist, and I said, I'm interested in this home. I'm going to come down to see this home. So we made an appointment. I came down to see the home. And how it was described on Craigslist is that it was, what did she say it was? It was like a little bungalow, like a beach bungalow is how she described. And I'm like, oh, great, a beach bungalow in San Antonio Del Mar. It was a 1-bedroom with a side patio and then a rooftop patio. And then it had a washer and dryer, and it was $500 per month on Craigslist. I was so into it. I drove down there as fast as I could. I was ready to like move by the end of the month or the month after, whenever I could get it. So I get to San Antonio Del Mar. Not only is it not a beach bungalow, it's more like a pool house without a pool. It's in someone's backyard, which, you know, it wasn't such a big deal had it been described that way. It was described as a beach bungalow. So there's a main house, and then there's a guest house, mother-in-law suite in the back. And the side patio was nice, but since I have 2 dogs, the impression I had is that my 2 dogs wouldn't bother people. So I didn't want my 2 dogs, you know, to run into their house or, you know, to sit on someone else's chairs. Like I wanted a space for just me and my 2 dogs, which I'm like, this is sort of not what I wanted because I have 2 dogs, and I don't want my 2 dogs to be a burden to someone else if I'm not at home. So guest house in someone's backyard. It did have an ocean view, did have the rooftop patio, it did have a side patio and a washer and dryer. All that was true. The price on the internet was $500. But when I got there, she told me, oh, the price is $550 and utilities are not included. I'm like, not that I couldn't afford it, but that's not what the ad said. The ad said this was a beach bungalow for $500 a month, utilities included, and that it wasn't in someone's backyard. So we did not agree. And she offered to show me another place, of course not by the beach, that she felt was more within my price range. And I said I wasn't interested. I drove 3 hours to come see a beach bungalow with a private patio and a rooftop patio. So no thank you on the second place that's not by the beach. All right, so back on Craigslist maybe a month or 2 later, and there was another apartment that looked like it had a large patio, large enough for my 2 dogs so they wouldn't be bothering people. Go to see this apartment. Long story short, the building is under construction. What the real estate broker did was he took pictures of multiple apartments in that building and put like 4 or 5 photos on Craigslist as if it was just pictures of one apartment. So when I got there, not only was it not the apartment that's listed, the entire building is under construction. I'm like, no, thank you. Then of course he offered another place that was in Rosarito. Not what I'm looking for. I did not want to go that far down. So now I did come down a 3rd time, and the real estate broker completely stood me up. This is how determined I was. This is how dedicated I was. So came down here and no one met me. Just a huge waste of time. So 3 trips, no success. 4th trip, I came down. I had already put in my 30-day notice. Like I was taking the place that I currently have. No exception. I saw a couple pictures on the internet, and the place had been listed for about 6 weeks. I saw it late November, December 2015, and I said, if it's still available, I'm going to go ahead and put my 30-day notice. So I put my 30-day notice on December 18th. I moved down here on January 2014. When I came to the place that I currently live, I came sight unseen. I had never seen this building before. I had no clue how to get here. The real estate broker did not speak very good English. It was well enough to communicate, but not very good English. I came with my car loaded. I had my 2 dogs, their dog houses. I had a sleeping bag so I could sleep on the floor. I arrived at 10 o'clock at night. And when I walked into the building, the owner said to me, she was like, well, let me know if you like it. And I said, did you see my car? I have no choice but to like it. I said, I have your money. I have my dogs. And if I don't take this place, we have nowhere to live. I made a decision and I followed it through, or I left me and my dogs homeless on the street. I signed a 6-month lease, and 8 months later, going on 9 months, I'm still here. So it was a good decision. I'm happy with it. I think if you're supposed to be somewhere, you're going to be there. And obviously I was supposed to be here because she could have flaked on me like the other real estate brokers. She could have changed the price like the other real estate brokers. It could have been a completely different building. Like she took pictures of the wrong building like the other real estate brokers, but she didn't do any of those things. And I walked into the building. Like I said, it is more towards the back of, let me scroll out, the back of Playas de Tijuana. But for me, just moving down here is completely fine. It's a 2-level building. It is a building, not so much a home. 2-level building, 2-bedroom, 2 bath, 2 patios. A patio in the front where I can see the ocean, just small view of the ocean, and a patio in the back that my dogs like to lounge out on in the sun. Had all the appliances. Some places do not have appliances. I have a refrigerator. I have a stove. Not like I can put them in my cart and steal them. The only thing that I have to pay separately are the utilities. I have internet with Telnor. The owner has the electricity and water bill in her name. The water bill I can pay online, and the electricity I go down to the office and I pay. My rent is $500 per month. I put down $500 a month deposit, so I came with $1,000, less than I was paying in Los Angeles already. Internet is 389 pesos, which is about $22 to $23. The electricity is like $5 per month. The water bill is roughly $6, $7 per month. I do have a gas container that I bought from a truck. They have trucks that sell gas, and it costs $40. And I know because I paid, I had to convert it to pesos. So it's roughly $40 depending on the exchange rate. But I purchased that in February, so 6 months later is still full. So, you know, 6 can go into 40. So roughly $5 a month, if not less. I'm not sure how long that gas container is going to last. So $500 per month for a 2-level building with a view over the ocean, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, front patio, back patio. I am on this main freeway, so it's a lot of noise when cars pass, a lot of dogs barking when cars pass. But as far as the quality of life, you can't beat the quality. As far as the price for what I'm receiving, you can't beat the price. I have internet. You know, I make all my phone calls online. I have my cell phone. It connects to the internet. I'm comfortable. My dogs have space. And really, compared to from where I came from, the squalor that I feel I was receiving in Los Angeles, Tijuana, Playas de Tijuana is like a palace. It's a completely improved and higher quality of life for the money that you're paying compared to Southern California.